landscape today. Welcome everyone. It's Rick. It's time to relax. I already went to work. Got the earth hanging up here. Crazy world going on right now, but we're going to paint a landscape and relax. Let's do that. How's everybody doing? Take a break from the internet. Let's do a painting. Let me get my feet up here. Did it do? There it is. Richard Krejci is live. I'm going to do a traditional landscape today. Kind of like, the ones I usually do. No neon paint, just normal paint. I'm thinking about putting like an underpaint though. Let me do that real quick, at least. So I'm going to mix a little black and white right here. Black and white. Here's my colors: burnt umber, yellow ochre, yellow, alizarin crimson, and sap green. I haven't really mixed the sap green yet, so I can mix the color of the grass while I go. But I put a little dark black in it to make for dark trees. I'm using Prussian blue. So what I'm going to do, I want to put an underpaint real quick. This is good for you to do every once in a while. You can use any color, but let's mix a little white, black. You'll get a grayish color here. If you get a little green in it, that's okay. But I want to put a little Prussian blue in it. Okay. This is going to be the color underneath the painting. I'll show you how I put this on with the brush wet down with water. So it should only take 30 seconds to do this part. Let me get a big filbert brush. Well, I got a number 10 here. It's big enough. Could use a 12 here. Just get a clean water, wet brush, and grab some of that gray and blue. And let's just throw it on the canvas here. Could actually use more water than that if you want. It doesn't have to be real heavy. Let's just get a cool underpaint there. You can go any direction. It's all going to get covered, but it's going to act as a tone underneath. It's going to make the colors appear maybe a little darker. Who knows? But just use plenty of water with the paint so it doesn't take you that long to spread this up there. This will be the undertone. Now while it's drying, I'll sketch it out with burnt umber. And by the time I'm done with the sketch, it should be ready to paint on. It's acrylic paint. It dries fast. So if you're out there selling art in the world, like I plan to do every weekend this summer, acrylic paint's the best way to do it because it dries the same day you paint it. Okay. After I'm done with this painting, I can ship it to anybody who wants to buy it. Okay. If it was oil paint, you'd have to wait 3 weeks. I'd have to sit on the painting for that long and wait for it to dry, All right, well, I'm out of my gray, so I'm going to use just a little what I got left here for this corner. So there you go. Doesn't have to be completely filled. There's our undertone. That's it. Now let me get my knife. I'm trying to hurry a little bit because I got band practice at 2 o'clock. So I'm at 12:43. Well, I got a good hour. So this is burnt umber with a little black in it. I'm just going to design some mountains here. I'm thinking what I want here, because I want to put some distant mountains in the back. So what, I'm going to put a peak a little off center here for my tall peak here, right in here, really tall. Okay, I want a tall mountain there. Maybe with a small peak coming off the side here like this. But back here I want to put, maybe on this side I'll put the distant mountains. Because here I'll probably put a trees going up over here. Let's bring this guy down, swooping down pretty low here. And then we'll put like some distant mountains back here. These will be light gray. I'm basically just trying to get an idea in here so I know where my sky is. And now we can design whatever we want down here. Let's put some hills in. I kind of want, let's do something that's a little straight, or something in the middle like this. And then we'll have the hills coming down in here like this. I have a couple hills coming down in here. I like doing hills because you can put, you know, trees up here. And you can create extra things going on in here. Maybe we'll put a cliff right here. All right, pretty good. And then I got the foreground down here. That's always fun to do. Let's put in some kind of trail. Some kind of trail. I don't know what it's going to be yet. Could be water. It could be like a walking pathway. But just a trail like that. So there, I'm done with the sketch. You don't have to put your trees in because you're going to put trees. If you want trees to go up into the sky, we'll have to run them from down here in the foreground. And maybe over here, tall enough trees to get up into the sky is the way I like to do it. All right, this looks pretty good. Let's get started. I'm going to do like a dark gray, bluish sky. I've got the Prussian blue. Let me get the chat going here. Make sure everything's kosher. Yeah, it's working. All right, so I'm going to use, this is a number 8 acrylic filbert brush. I'll probably use it for the whole painting. What I'm going to do is put one layer of paint on here first with different colors, and then I'll start designing the painting after that. So I got Prussian blue here. I obviously, you don't want to use the color right out of the tube. It's a good tip. And if you've been painting for years, you probably think it's not worth mentioning, but to a new artist, you got to mix some kind of color in your paints. Mix, you could take Prussian blue and you can actually put cobalt blue in there if you want to create a different type of bluish color. Let's put in some light blue here, and then I'll take a little bit of the dark blue and just throw in some streaks of dark in there. Get some different tones going on in there. I kind of want to put white around. So I'm not even going to rinse my brush. I'm just grabbing paint for the sky. Let's grab some titanium white and go around the blue that's already up there. Just a little titanium white around the whole edge of the painting. They're going to look like clouds in the end. Paint really loose up in the sky. I'll blend it in though once I get a lot of this paint in here the way I want it. There we go. Bring a little more blue down. I'm going to lighten some more blue up here and get this a little lighter down here around the mountain. A light blue. It's going to look cool. This is more of a painting. I'm trying to make it look like what did I put in the title? I want it to look like nature books, okay? I'm not realistic. There we go. It's going to be a realistic landscape. But we also want to do things so it doesn't look too planned out. So now that blue, you can extend the blue out now with if you got too much white in there, just add some more blue in there around. And let's lightly blend the sky now. I'm going to rinse the brush off and dry it. I should be using a 12. I like using the size 12 for this because it's bigger. It's easier to blend with a larger brush, but you could do it with the 8. Let's just blend these colors in a little bit so there's no streaks or spots. That's why it's good to have an undertone. There won't be any white spots peeking through because I got the gray underneath there, okay? So it's pretty much covered. If you don't put an undertone, a lot of this you'd still be seeing white from the canvas in there, see? Let's put white right down to the top of the mountains here. It's okay if some of that burnt umber gets in there. It's still a little wet there. Just put a little white down there. It'll look like clouds. Blend it in. All right, let's do the mountains now. The sky's done. I'll put some clouds up there in a little bit. I'm going to really move on this painting. I'm just trying to show you how if you're ready to start painting, I got a video on my channel. It tells you you know, what colors you need and what kind of brushes to get. And you can get all this stuff at Michael's, okay? So these mountains back here, I want to have a light gray. So I'm just going to mix black and white and get a light gray back here. So just take a little white and a little black, a really light gray. Even lighter than that. The lighter it is, the further away the look, okay? let's just put them in this gray color. And if I want them lighter, you could almost make them white and they'll look way back there. But that's light enough. A light gray. Those are way in the distance. Now, I was checking out some mountains here in Seattle. I'll try and do the mountains the way they look now. There's a little bit of snow up here left, but then most of this down here is turning gray. You're seeing more of the gray of the mountain come in now because the snow is melting. So this I'm going to do with this color. I'm going to mix black and white and a little Prussian blue. Okay, just mix those three together for the mountain. Pretty dark gray. And let's just paint this mountain in. Start with your peaks and then pull it down a little bit. I'm going to go pretty quick because, like I said, I got practice. I got band practice at 2. And I hate not finishing a painting for you. I like to get most of it done on the live. Doesn't that look cool so far? Man, it already looks real. Wow. Now here's the thing about if you're doing a mountain like this, I like to take a little more titanium white now and pick up this gray while it's wet. You can have a wet brush. Pick up the gray at the bottom of the mountain and bring it down into the valley here. Just block this valley in with this light color and then blend the white up into the mountain. Just keep blending it till it disappears and then pull it down into the valley. Just like that. So this will be the valley down in here. So these, I got some hills over here. I think what the people, when I do a landscape, the ones that get a lot of likes is where I have the green up here, and then I have the light color down here. So let's put a green hill up here and up here. You could mix that green any way you want, but here's a good way to do it. If you want light green, take yellow first. Take a little yellow and just grab a little bit of sap green and mix it in the yellow. Just a little sap green. And you'll get like a light green here, okay? Now let's use this light green up on our far hills here. These are far away. So you want the hills to be really light, okay? Since I'm going to have another hill below it, I'm going to make this section a little darker, but these far hills here, we can make them the same color almost. And now let's get a little darker green. So how do you do that? You just grab a little more sap green and mix it into that color. And now you'll have a darker green for, we're getting closer to the eye. So we can get, our greens will get a little darker, okay? and just block it in. Don't worry about this is just the underpaint right now. Just get the idea down first, the color, okay? And let's put a little green down here, and then I want to turn it to golden color here. So grab a little more dark sap green, mix it into the yellow. We want it darker than this up here. You can leave that black, the brown in there if you want. It'll help tell us that there's a ridge there, okay? I'm going to leave this trail in here. I'm not going to go over it. And there we go. Let's take a little titanium white. I like to do this at the very top of the hill and lighten up just the back of that hill there. Just with titanium white. Blend it in there. It'll soak into the green and get lighter. Okay. That way now we got like 3 different tones of green in there. Very good. Wow. This is turning out good so far. Let me zoom it in a little more for you. When I do the mountains, I want you to see how I put the snow up there. Look how cool those distant mountains look back there. You see how I just I roughly paint them in there. You don't have to be perfect right now on this first layer of paint. You just got to get the idea in there, okay? It's coming along. I'm looking at this down here to see if I can see anything else that I want. Almost looks like a reflection in here already. See that? Wow. Well, Jaswi, how you doing? Jaswi. I get the coolest people in here with the coolest names, you know. I'm doing good. I just went to work early today. It's 1 o'clock in Seattle. I got to go to band practice at 2, so I got to hurry up on this. Daniel, I'm doing good. I'm staying out of the news. I know there's a lot of garbage going on right now, so I decided to do a painting before band practice. Now down here, I like to mix burnt umber and yellow ochre. It's one of my favorite colors. Take a little burnt umber. We're going to mix it right on the palette here with the brush. And a little yellow ochre. Probably more yellow ochre. And then I'm going to add a little yellow to it as I put it down. So I want to put this golden color down here. I don't know if this is going to be a river or a trail. It's probably going to be a trailhead, because I do enough paintings with water. I'm always doing water, so this is a realistic painting with acrylic paint. I'm not trying to do any fancy stuff today, or I'm not using any neon colors. I only did that to, to change up the pace a little bit. Now here where these two colors come together, I usually just end up putting bushes here. So I don't have to really blend those together if I don't want, because I'm going to end up having like bushes covering those two colors where they change, okay? Let's put this same color over here. Just block it in. This is called blocking it in. It doesn't have to be pretty right now. This is still the first coat of paint, first layer. I do have an undertone here of gray. It'll help out in the long run. It helps the paint look a little darker underneath. You won't get a reflection or anything. The gray will prevent the, see when it doesn't have it? See how light that looks now? Where I didn't put any gray. So it's good to use an undertone. Otherwise, you're going to get this light color look, okay? Now I'm going to use titanium white here and create some kind of land, the shape of the land with titanium white. Maybe get it to draw down this way, like where the pathway's going. Just blend it in though when you're done. It's going to create just some different tones in there, okay? Now you could grab a little dark and add it to the top part. Or actually the bottom part. If you got a white line, just add a little dark underneath it. It'll help it look like terrain, like it's going up, okay? Just a little dark color just underneath your light spots, okay? It'll help in the long run. It'll make this look kind of cool down here, so it just doesn't look like flat land, okay? It's a good way to do it without spending a lot of time down there. Let me put a little, instead of white, I'm going to put yellow right here to lighten it up because it's already dry. This paint dries so fast. You got to kind of manipulate it as you go. So that's what you got to learn how to do. But since I didn't put any white in here and it's already dry, you can lighten it up by putting some yellow. Okay? Just at the very top. Just along the top of it. Just to lighten it up. And then just make sure you blend it in good, though. Blend it in there. It's going to create some different tones in the grass, okay? So it just doesn't look like one tone of green. There we go. See how it looks like there's maybe daisies growing on this hill or something, okay? Not daisies, dandelions. Put some yellow in there to look like dandelions, okay? All right, let's do the mountain. This is the fun part. So I'm using some Liquitex titanium white today. I bought this yesterday. I started getting used to the Winsor Newton white. It's not as good. But you know, you get used to the color after a while. And then when you grab some good stuff, then you're like, whoa, what a difference. All right, so what I think I see here, I'm just going to have a little snow up here, and then I'll put a few cliffs down here. I'm just going to start with a little snow. This main peak will be in front. I'll probably sneak that peak in the back there. So I just want to put a hint of snow up there first. Just a little hint of it. And this one's going to be way back there, so I'm just going to hit it with just a little bit on top. Just like that. Now I want to run this mountain in front, so I'm going to run some more snow down the edge here. Just so it pushes that small one further in the back. There we go. Good enough. That's enough snow. I want to just put in hills now. Just take a little paint on your knife and create some hills like this. Just like that. That'll be enough. We got, it's a lot of hills there. Pretty cool. A light blue. A very light blue for the mountain in the back. We want this one back here to look really light on this the shadow side. A light blue. Now this blue here, I'm going to make it a little darker on the mountain in the front. So the blue should be a different color than that one back there, okay? And I'm trying to rush, but you don't have to cover it all. Let some of that gray show through. Mountains are fun. So underneath all this where I put these white hills, I want to put a little blue underneath. Everywhere you put white, just put a little bit of blue underneath like this. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'm going to blend it down with a brush. Just put a little blue. Just like that. Now I rinsed my filbert brush off. I'm going to soften up the bottom of the blue here. And you might have to wipe your brush occasionally because the paint's still wet and it's going to get on the brush. So just blend it a little and then wipe it, dry it. But go through first and get a little blend on all the blue because it'll dry fast on you. Just get a little blend on it, pull it down a little. And now let's lightly blend this whole bottom area. And we'll blend some of the bottom of this mountain up here. Very good. There we go. Wow. That looks pretty good. I'm going to add a little more white now to make these trails look a little brighter. Cool. So now these look like, they're supposed to look like little, like, cliffs up here, okay? Like you could drive up here, drive a car up there. Very cool. Looks like the Rocky Mountains. Have you ever been to Colorado? You get up on those roads and you look out the window, and I mean, the road, there's only that much road left. If you make one mistake, you're going off the mountain, man. It's like, it's pretty amazing. It's kind of scary. You gotta be very alert when you're driving in Colorado. But there we go. I got the mountain done. This is usually takes the longest to do the mountain, so sometimes this white will soak in, so you can come back at the end and hit it with more white to brighten it up, okay? Wow. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think about that. If you got oncoming traffic, yeah, it's even scarier. But it's so pretty up there in the mountains over there. Do you guys notice how I did the sky? You guys came in late, but you see how it almost looks like there's clouds like floating up there already? It's just I mixed white into the blue. It's a good thing to do. Like, it adds it adds stuff to your painting, and you don't even really have to try, you know. It does it automatically. Yeah, maybe I got to start naming my paintings because I put them on X, Twitter, and if you don't name your painting, they don't even look at it. But the ones that I named, boom, it's like, yeah, they want the artist to name their paintings. So I'll name this Majestic Mountains. Thanks for the tip there. Thanks for reminding me. So this is cool here. I'm going to already run some trees up here. I'll show you how I'm going to do that. Because I want this to be closer to us. So if you were standing here, you'd be about, you know, probably this tall here, taking off down the trail. So I'm going to put some pretty tall trees here because I want to fill in. I want to fill in the sides here. That's why I left it open here for trees, okay? So I'm going to put a few bushes here. Doing everything dark, and then I'll lighten up the bushes later. This is how I usually do my realistic paintings. I'll put the bushes in dark. Sometimes I'll leave them dark. Depends on how it turns out. But I want some trees going up into the sky here. I'm gonna put some skinny evergreen trees here. And what I'm going to do on this one, I'm going to come right down the middle of the trunk and just press on the middle and then get wider as I come down. And I'll adjust it after I'm done coming down. I want it to be one of those tall, skinny trees. So I'll put another one next to it. And then what's going to happen when I do this lower section, they'll mingle together and I won't have to widen it out. You know what I mean? It's going to widen out on its own because I'm coming down the center of this trunk. They're going to mingle together and it's going to create the branches in there already. And then I'll have one here. It's about time to retire this fan brush. I just like using these fan brushes. You get attached to them. Even though it's pretty old, I still use it. Look at that. I think I picked the right color for these trees. It's sap green with just a hint of black in it. Doesn't that look cool? It really looks good on all those colors up there. Sometimes I'll put this color up here and it depends. Now here, so I'll have a big tree over here, so I'm just going to put trees here. Like maybe coming from where that trail ends, I'm just going to put some trees across here. Maybe these are like, we'll make these like maple trees or something. That way I could put one big tree over here on the side. And I gotta hurry because I gotta go to band practice at 2. So I can only work on this another about 30 minutes. So I want to get as much done as I can. So you see most of the finished product. I'll do the clouds next because the clouds are fun to do. Let me move the camera over here. Yeah, so I don't know if you guys watch, I watch a lot of different things on YouTube, and there's a lot of crazy stuff going on right now, so I'm going to make this one a little bigger than these because this is closer to us. Right on the edge here. Maybe it's going to start, the bottom will start coming out of the picture here. Look at that. I kind of judged that just right, where I can still have this tree here. Put long branches on this side. Maybe I'll put trunks in here today. Some brown trunks. Let me do that now so I don't forget. You see my world up there? Have you seen that yet? Bam. I got the world floating in the air there. I'm glad you guys are taking time out to watch a little bit. If you can't watch it all, that's fine. You can watch the rest of it later. Yep, good energy. The electrons from the Earth. Did you guys see my short I did? My buddy told me about earthing. I never heard of that before, so I made a little short about it. I went out in the backyard with my bare feet and I sped up my voice, and it's just a funny video. All right, I kind of like the trail, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep it dark brown. I like that. So I'm going to darken it up a little more with a knife. This is burnt umber with a little black in it. This is what I used to sketch the beginning of the painting with. Should lighten up the back a little. Let me see. We'll just add a little white into it. It'll add a little highlights to it. Just a little white. There we go. So back here on the trail, if it's far away, you wouldn't see any color, so that should soak in and turn like a light brown here in a second. It's looking pretty good. Let me finish up the bushes right now. So I'll have a few bushes down here in the corner on the edge of this trail that I can highlight. Just a few bushes here. And we'll put some bushes on top of this trail here. The trail's coming out here. And a few bushes on the top part of this trail here. Just to line the trail. There we go. Biddy-boo, biddy-diddy-boo. So I'll put, let me put a distant tree out here. It always helps to have like another tree in the distance to give it more depth. Put a couple out there. Should be using a smaller fan brush, but just trying to hurry. So it makes it look further back. Looks really good. Wow. I can't wait to do the clouds. The clouds are going to bring this painting all together. And once I put, you know, it's going to go up in the sky too. I'm going to use a very light green. Watch this. White in my green that I made. And maybe a little more yellow. A very light green for these bushes here. Uh, do do do. Very cool. And the same green for underneath here. This is more like grass underneath these trees here, like tall grass. And a few bushes in front of this evergreen tree. I'm liking this. Where am I at? Oh man, I'm already getting on an hour. I can't believe how long these take. I still have 15 minutes, so I'll get the sky done. So I'm gonna add a little more uh, green to this light green, sap green. So it's a little darker. And just highlight this tree real quick, just on the one side. Very light touches, so you get more branches in there. Yeah, I like it. I made this green even just a hint darker. I'm going fast now, guys, so but it's all about the color now. Just keeping the shadow in there, the dark color. When you start painting, you'll understand why I do everything dark, and because the light color won't show up unless you have something dark underneath there. You got to have something dark first, and then you can put the light on top of it. Let's change these to a different color. I'm going to add a little yellow and a alizarin crimson. It's going to add like a little bit of orange color to it. Just to give it a different flavor. So all the bushes aren't the same color. There we go. I really like that. I'm going to use that orange color and just kind of highlight like some of the tree with it, just to get some shapes going out there. All right, let's do the clouds. Then I got to get out of here. So also, you can use white down here on the edge of your trail. It just adds a little flavor to it, even though it's uh, probably not the best thing to do, but it'll add something to it. This white will soak in a little bit and kind of dull down a bit. But it just adds a little more brilliance to it, I think. Let's do some clouds real quick. I kind of see what I want to do here. I see these clouds are just kind of running straight across here, like this. So let me do this first. Run a cloud just straight across. And then I'll feed on this cloud and go from there. Wow. Look at that cloud. Wow. I did that literally in 3 seconds. That cloud. Man. Ho ho. That looks so cool. So I'm kind of feeding off what's already up here, all this white that's in there already. So I want to keep the center like dark the way it is. So what I'm going to do, I think I'm just going to add like skinny clouds in here that are blowing. And then I'll put a few down here. Do 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 do. Wow, that's really coming along together good. And I'll run a cloud probably from here now and kind of bring it up into that one up there. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I didn't layer any of them, but that's all right. This one kind of layered on that one. Look at that sky, man. That is amazing. I mean, it's not the best cloud placement, but you can see how quick I got that done. All right, guys, I think that's about, this one came out pretty good. I mean, I like doing these traditional paintings. They're more realistic. I'm kind of curious to see if those other, the ones I did the other day where I outlined everything, if those are going to sell. I'll bring a couple of those down to that brewery and see if those sell. They're a little different. Here comes the birds. Man, it's amazing what just adding a few birds does to the painting. Well, I hope you guys like this one. There's still a lot I can do to it, but I'll have to finish it later. I don't have time to do the branches. I'll do those after practice. I'll probably do another live after practice, so it'll be about. I'm gonna go live again at about 5:30 my time. So probably in 3 more hours. We'll see you guys then. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all the great. An hour isn't long enough to do a painting. Yeah, I know. But look how far I got in an hour. Oh yeah. All right, you're going outside to paint. Right on. I can't wait till it warms up here. I'll do a little painting outside myself. All right, guys, I appreciate you, and we'll see you on the next live. Cheers.